Okay, so what I want to do before we go in then is look at the outside. Like, does this thing have, like, I'll climb up on it and
Oh
look
yeah,
On
and
the
I've already
inspect
top,
it.
been up there. Been up there, nothing interesting.
just so you
Just
know, it's a
the
couple stories up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you the pictures I took
Oh, he
when I
showed
was
you,
up.
or actually, he attempts to turn on his phone.
Okay.
Wait, you're in Burlington. I think you're fine.
Well, it
Hold
worked
on.
last time. Yeah.
Yeah, double checking though, because, you know, tech unlimited. No problem. He turns on his phone and he shows you pictures. In the top are kind of biggish, like this big holes,
Yeah.
big enough to like stick your hand into or something like that. And they appear to have some sort of metal pointy things inside of each of the holes with the point in the middle.
Yeah,
Which is why
that's
I
where
want to go
the
check it out, because it's probably a technology thing if it works all the time.
those are the antennas that come out and make the alarm sounds. But we didn't have a chance to really check them out.
Hence the reason I want to climb on top to check it out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay down here because
Okay.
I fell last time.
Would you like to back up in case he falls off the way somebody else you know very well did?
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep an eye on him.
Excellent. Give me a climb roll there, Doc Fulton, or fall off screaming. He scampers up like a greased monkey and is on the top. You can definitely see those metal things, but they're down in there, kind of like imagine a bullet in a gun barrel,
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking down the barrel type thing. Yeah.
Is there any way to access it? Like, because this clearly then isn't just, if it's just stone, then we have to go inside clearly.
Yeah.
But I want to see if there's a way to get to any of the mechanism or to see what I can figure out how it does.
Nothing.
Okay. Then I guess we just wait until night.
Right. Do you want to stay on top until night comes, or?
No, because I don't want to like go like no, and I want like.
Yeah. Right. Give me a climb roll to get back down without screaming, falling, and brightening the day of Freddy. Like a fucking greased eel through grease. Yeah. That almost worked. And no problem. He scampers back down, and you guys go hang out and stuff in the town. Got to nightfall. There is no siren sound or anything like that. It just appears to be a normal, quiet night. Happy Friday! It says some guy driving his best girl out to make out point so that they can look confused.
Huh. I guess it changed since we were last here.
Give me a memory roll, Freddy.
Memory roll, unless it was later in the evening. Might have been later.
Oh no, you're hanging out all evening, watching and waiting.
Yeah, memory's not that great. Nope, failed.
He looks confused as to why nothing's happening.
That's okay. Does it open or no?
No.
What time is it?
You have waited from sundown all the way to about midnight-ish.
And it's Friday still?
You're not really sure. You could go ask somebody.
Sure.
Friday, says the guy to you looking confused, like, why would you ask that?
Huh. Weird. I mean, I kind of just shrug at Doc. It worked last time. Maybe we're not supposed to be around it because we were in the bowling alley last time. But I don't know.
Well, let's just wait around. I can wait all night.
No problem. You guys continue to wait, and cut to, you guys both wake up in the bed and breakfast. It's dawn. Your clothing is neatly folded in the chair next to you. If you don't have space-time distortion maxed out, please give me a sandy roll as You definitely did a whoop jump, and you don't know why. Doc stretches and says, normal, typical, where's my breakfast? Right, it's only D6 for going, why? Yeah, excellent. Have you got that shit maxed out yet or not yet?
Not yet.
Nice. Okay, now give me a willpower times 3 roll for what we call GM fun time. You want to fail this to make the GM happy. Nice. Well done. Now roll a D4.
Great. Okay.
Doc, you're in the room with there's still a Morlock in the bed. Fight, flight, free.
Is it awake yet?
I will check on its healing thing here. It doesn't have a great healing thing because.
Oh, can I roll my healing as well for the night?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay.
The Morlock has died during the night there, Doc.
I searched him to see if there's anything on him.
No, not even. It's got a loincloth.
That's it, huh?
Yes, a violated loincloth with a bloody butt. Perverted bastard, you think? Yes, despite how good your doctoring was, apparently it just. Oh, on a fumble? Right. You are still wounded as shit. You're still residual self-image. You'd never changed anything. So just, you didn't heal at all because you're even coughing a bit from the smoke particulates that were in the building that you slept in the other night because apparently life hates you right now. I don't know why. Just be happy not in combat with those rolls.
Oh, my sanity is below 40 now.
Excellent. What is your first insanity, sir?
I don't know what. Do I just make one up or?
I would recommend consulting with Chris on this. He has come up with some outstanding sandies. Here's the deal. Here's the rules on sandies. First, it has to be something that fucks you at least once in adventure. If it doesn't, you get reassigned to worse insanity. It shouldn't necessarily fuck the rest of the party. It can a little bit, but it's best if it's something that just fucks you. And hopefully it just comes up once per adventure is best for you.
Any ideas?
It has to be detrimental as well.
Okay.
So, Doc, based on what little you know of him, because the thing that leapt immediately to my mind is you like to start fires, at least one big one per adventure, but it's up to you. Doc, could you give him an idea or?
So that what was that fumble about? Like to heal, right?
Well, no, his sanity's from seeing these from space-time distortion had caused him to dip below 40 san. But yeah, the fumble is just his healing roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the fumble. Okay. Yeah, the fumble was with cooking that started the fire.
Must know what time it is at all times.
How does that fuck him?
Hold on. Like that's the first one that came to mind. Let me think about it.
Well, here's some examples of other people's sanities. Like Doc Fulton used to have one that anytime there was screaming, he would go yell, "Shut up," and then begin beating the person to stop them from screaming. Which, considering he's a doctor and sometimes worked with children, not great. Let's see, Alex Kinley and the woman with no name both refused to carry money ever, or at one time they both did. Another insanity, Alex Kinley, for when he had the insanity, he wouldn't, anything technological, he'd yell demons, as you know, and refused to touch it. You don't want insanity that prohibits you from adventuring. Like you wouldn't want one like I only go to tech zones because then that fucks everything. Stuff. But I kind of like the idea of him starting one big fire once per session.
That's
Doesn't
way too detrimental, especially if it's supposed to be low first. Because the way, like the Dox wasn't beating the shit out of people right away. That was like level 2 or 3.
Well, right now, since we've adjusted the insanities, you only can get 3 insanities, so we really don't have the levels anymore. We just have like it doesn't have to necessarily start a huge building on fire. You just has to start something on fire, like somebody's car or something like that.
Yeah, 'cause
What
that's not pretty contextual to the party.
True. So
what
yeah,
size does it have to be? The fire.
well, no, he brings up a good point that might be detrimental to the party
Oh, okay,
because
fine.
they're always
Yeah.
going to be messed up. He could for his insanity. He feels like he was so helpless in front of the fire that now he always tries to if he can, just spitballing here by the way. He always wants to dress as a fireman and carry stuff to put out fires because he's racked with guilt over it.
Well, I always carry a fire extinguisher around. No
Well, it
matter
has
what
to
I
be
do.
detrimental.
Yeah.
Is why I went with the
Yeah,
dress fireman because then it's like you're definitely gonna stick out in a crowd and shit. It's like, yeah, we're following a couple of mysterious guys and a fireman. What do they look like? Just look for the fireman. You'll be okay. Yeah. As an example, I'm sure you can think of something. I'll give you a minute to think of it. I'm going to go to the restroom real quick. But yeah,
Okay.
give it some thought. It's usually a good idea, by the way, to begin working because you can get up to 2 more insanities. So I always recommend people work on quirks. And then, like, for example, one of the guy's quirks was he was a sexual deviant and he liked to give Smurfs blowjobs in order to try to get money or trade goods. That was a bit extreme, but it only, as they say, fucked him.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of something
and
that I can do
then
every session.
and then later, he some girl's like, I kind of like you, and he's like, hold on a second. He went and put on blue face. And he's like, let's do it. And she's like, oh God. I'll be right back. Oh. Oh, Chris, tell them about quirks while I'm gone.
Well, is there anything that your character is really into that you could start obsessing over as well?
Anything computer related, tech related, gadgets, stuff like that. The internet, cyberware, I suppose.
You're the hacker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm that guy. What if it's something like I have to hack something at least once, no matter what it is, to get my fix for the day, kind of a thing. Just I have to hack something. Does that count as an insanity? Or
No, that's more of a quirk. Like, I don't think that wouldn't fly because there's too many zones where there is no tech.
Because the one thing I'm so good at is like tech related stuff, and because I feel kind of helpless because I couldn't put out the fire, what if I'm always kind of trying to show people like this is how you use a phone or a computer, like regardless of what zone I'm in, I'll show them the tech I have. So it might if we're in like Beastkin land, that might really screw me over because they'll be like, what is this phone thing? And I'll be like, this is what you can do with the phone.
It's also not extremely obvious. It's just like, hey, look at this stuff I have. And I'll just like look at it like it's some weird alien stuff. Like,
try and teach them how to use it kind of thing? Or
It's not obvious enough. Like Logan's looking for something that's gonna be rather obvious as well, not subtle. That's why I was thinking like maybe you needed to wear like a big clock all the time, kind of like Flavor, if you know who that is.
yeah, I know what that is.
Okay, so like just walking around with a giant clock on your chest like him. Like that's the kind of thing I was thinking about when I was thinking about the time thing, like because it was a time space thing that made you go insane.
So basically, it's something like I always check the time every hour on the hour.
No, see, that's not. No,
Doesn't have
wearing
a
a big clock would be weird because, like, in some zones, are like, "What is that?" Like, and like
Yeah,
just
okay.
walking around with a giant clock on your chest is pretty weird. Like it could be like to the point where, like, if you're trying to talk to someone, they like start focusing on the clock. Like, what? Like it's a big, and like depending on what zone it is, maybe it turns into like that zone's version of a clock.
I'm
Or
okay
it
with
picks
that.
up a clock for each zone.
Right.
I'll just
That's where I
start
was going with
collecting.
the time thing.
Start
'Cause, like,
collecting
he
clocks.
needs to know what time it is and whatever zone he's in, like using whatever kind of tech they use for clocks, he has one.
Or he could disguise himself as a Morlock badly.
I mean, to me, the firefighter is a bit more more comparable than trying to look like a Morlock.
I personally love the firefighter thing because they can carry a bell and wander around go.
I mean, even if he's just always wearing a firefighter helmet at all times, that's kind of nutty enough.
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty good.
Why do you have that? Like, if he has the whole outfit on, they're just gonna think he's certified. Just like this guy's clearly a nut bag.
So
yeah.
Sure that fire aversion, but I mean, what?
Well, yeah, the more firefighter stuff he has access to, the happier he feels, the more comfortable he feels. Like if you open up his door and he's got like 8 fire extinguishers and shit, and like he talks to you, he's like, hanging out with fire extinguishers like on either side of him, ready to be picked up and used just in case. I could definitely see that. But yeah, it has to see. Unfortunately, like obsessive compulsive tics don't really fuck you in the game because you don't have to do them every hour or whatever. So it has to be something that like an unusual appearance or unusual behaviors that throw off NPCs and make people go, "He's nuts." That fucks you because then they don't want to talk to you because you're obviously crazy.
Okay.
Look, Chris,
So, oh yeah.
Yeah, but strawberries are good.
Yeah, but it's painful for me.
I'm happy with the clock or the fire helmet thing.
I think you could have a lot more fun with the fire thing than the clock thing myself because you can take it a lot of places. Like Doc used to be one of his insanities used to be for golfing, and so he did shit like when we were playing live, he'd actually show up with fucking golf magazines and shit. Chris has no interest in golfing, as far as I know, but Doc,
golf.
Yeah. And I mean, like one of Doc's weapons right now, golf putter. Just all the golf themed shit. So
like I would sit at the table because like this is back in the day when we all played together, and I would have Golf Digest, and I just like sit there reading it and ignore the party, and they'd be like, "Doc," I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, we had new players show up who thought he really was into golf in a big sort of way. Although that's not as good as
we all loved Britney Spears, and we were part of the Britney Spears fan club, and we had stickers for Britney Spears. We all had folders with Britney Spears stickers all over them. Oh my God!
New player. Well, my favorite was imagine showing up and like all these guys sitting around Britney Spears stickers, and these are all like 20s and 30s age people or whatever, and you're like, the fuck? And then, like, during the party thing, one pulled out a Britney Spears poster and would unroll it, and everybody would go, yes. And then later, they had a Britney Spears doll somebody brought out and made it start dancing, and everybody's pounding the table. New players are like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, they picked up an insanity somewhere and they all kind of clumped together. And they were like, and I think that's the last we ever saw that person.
So for the insanity, how about something like I'm obsessed with firefighter paraphernalia and I wear / use it as much as possible.
Oh yeah, that's a great one just because you can get some funny mileage out of it. Because I mean, in real life, insanities are all tragic and shit, but in the game, it's like if you're like, hey, we gotta go shopping, and you pick up a fucking shiny yellow fighter helmet or whatever,
Yeah.
maybe even it's antique or something, and they're like, yeah, that's nice. You guys set that in a house somewhere, and you're like, no. Yeah, that's crazy behavior. Or it's like, hey, you got a bag of holding. I wonder how many fire extinguishers we can get into that. That kind of weird shit.
There's no level for this, right?
I'm not really, since player can only get 3 of them. I'm not really using levels of insanities. Okay. But you get 3 different insanities. Now, keep in mind, it has to fuck you in some way every session.
Yeah.
So it could be like an easy way to fuck yourself is like if you get $1,000 and you're like, at last I've got cash, and then you blow it all on fucking firefighter paraphernalia. Or you come home one day with a dachshund dog, and the PCs are like, who's going to feed it? And you're like, firefighters have a dog like this. And they're like,
okay.
that's funny.
I'll try to work it in somehow. Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Then write it on your sheet that you're obsessed with firefighters, firefighter paraphernalia. I mean, there's so many different things you could do with that one too. Like start buying firefighter calendars, or just lots of little touches. Although I would definitely, if I was you, yeah, great. If I was you, I would definitely start with getting some fire extinguishers, because those may
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
All right, moving on. So it's Burlington. It's getting close to noon. You guys do a little grazing over at the 7-Eleven. Even though you don't have to pay for food, it's super cheap. It's like 30 cents for a hamburger or some shit like that, or a dime or something. Back when money was worth something, right?
I want to ask someone, what day is it?
Friday, says the guy behind the counter. Happy Friday.
I just plot my face straight into the desk, and it's like,
all right. He comes over and cleans around it.
All right, after we eat, I want to go back to the temple and see if there's like any way to open up the blast door.
No, it looks to you as though, because normally the doors were like this, but it appears that another big one is closed like that, like a garage door went straight down over it. Your guess is some sort of heavy duty metal, or some sort of metal, or metal blast door.
Yeah, we may have yeah.
We'd remember eventually.
We tried to keep the doors open, but the other dock kind of failed. There's a machine on the other side, and well, I guess he closed it permanently since it's not opening, or we need to go on the other side and fix the machine. But that would require going through the sewers in Cyberpunk to get to there, I think.
Gotcha.
You notice every time you say Cyberpunk, the dock twitches just a little bit, like you're discussing crosses with a vampire type thing, because vampires are allergic to bullshit. Ta-da. Anyway,
do you not like Cyberpunk?
What? No, I'd rather not go there if I don't have to.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know how else to open the door. So, yeah. Unless you have a way of just phasing through objects or teleporting or something.
That was my past life. What? Never mind.
Okay.
Uh, I mean, I could, but
I mean, you can try and brute force it, but that would require a lot of power. Believe me.
well, you know what? I want to go check out the temple to Dagon in MMO land.
Oh, great! New zones. Hooray! Never been there before.
You've never gone to MMO land before?
Nope.
Oh, wow. All right.
Before we leave, though, if that's where we're going, can I just go to the hardware store and just grab some stuff real quick?
Sure.
Okay, Logan, I want to pick up a big ass axe. Just
Sure.
a fireman's like axe.
Sure. Give me a luck roll. Lower is better. This is how close to actual fireman it is.
Okay. Ooh.
A
And
genuine, authentic fireman's axe.
okay.
Ah,
Yes. Okay. Just
no,
gonna
no.
carry that around with me. Just don't mind me.
Okay, you've now got a problem in that you're going to have to grow a third arm because you've got
Yep.
special bowling ball, regular bowling ball,
Yep.
and axe. None of which
So
are good at.
do you mind if we just quickly stopped off at the Australian embassy so I can leave this stuff with them?
Sure.
Okay.
Done. It's actually not a challenge at all. As far as the Australian embassy goes, um, not a lot's going on there right now. They're just doing their thing. Uh, you guys get fed, clothed. I mean, it's pretty much just showing up there is a day's worth of gossip with the two the young man, elf man, and young elf woman. They pretty much want to talk, feed you, have you go get some sleep. Of course, there's a full complement of gear in the rooms if you're wanting rifle, pistol, ammo, cowboy gear. Are you carrying around your cowboy gear still? Because
I never had
believe
any.
me. Oh, you never got any?
No,
Okay,
I didn't take any.
cool.
I want to drop off also a few of the tarot cards that Joshua slash Pete mentioned, and I'll post that up on the forums. Which cards specifically?
Excellent. Yes, the elf lady takes them from you, and she disappears to lock them up somewhere, and then reappears later.
Yeah,
No
I'll post
problem.
it up later. Cool.
Yeah. He tells you she will let the ambassador know, which means you get to leave him a message on the forums.
Cool. Let me just
Excellent.
roll my willpower to heal.
Will never ever heal. You'll get another fumble. Yeah, perfect. So,
damn it.
Let the good times roll. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so I'll leave the Roomba and the other bowling ball with them somewhere. Lock it up securely. And
she will store it for you. She gets your name and all that stuff so that, they have, they'll probably put it in like a secure room or some shit. Hold on, I got to get rid of the cat real quick. He wants to go out. Want to go out?
Oh, may as well just cast a few spells while I wait.
Outside.
Remember, it's will times 1 here.
Was it will time? Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah. Parker,
Okay, well, let's just see if this works.
thank you so much.
How many times can I try the willpower test?
I'm not sure. I believe you can just keep going.
Jay, the
Logan,
catch.
is there a limit on how many times I can do the willpower to cast a spell?
Isn't it -30 every time?
No, we've done better than that. You can keep going, like assuming you're not in combat, in which case it's once around. You can just spam that shit until you either succeed or fumble. When you fumble, you're done trying spells for the day. If you succeed, then you can go ahead and try to cast your spell.
Okay. Doc, what's the magic like? Oh, never mind. I'm done.
Cool. Now the fumble card. Hooray. Hooray. Excellent. Doc, you're the bonus for a good hard slapping if you want it. He goes, and you're like, all right, and the moment. Doc, reduce your head by one, please. And then you guys head back to Kinleyville.
Yes.
Excellent. Congratulations. You are visiting a new zone, which I will tell you about in just a second. First, I'll get you your tarot card so I do not forget. And
Chris, I have a replenish. Do you want me
Okay.
to use it now? Do you want me to use it, or because my hand's kind of cracked?
Wait until we need it.
Okay.
I do have a limited retrieve when opponent fails and a jury rig.
I only have really, I have one clothing greed, a replenish, a psychology +20, and a trapping +20.
with the replenish, you're in good shape for that. Or with the limited retrieve, that's good stuff for that replenish. The two cards you pick up, if you'd like to make a note there, Alex, is Death and the Seven of Wands.
Great, I just dropped off one deck, now I got another one. Cool.
Yep. So apparently the cards are trying to fucking. The whole world's turned against you, dude. I swear to God.
Yeah, it's not my day today, man. Alright, cool.
So here's something about Kinleyville. Now imagine like a stock fantasy world, but then put in a lot of little touches of 1950s shit. Like, let's steal this window out of the building and stick it over here. If the window's not coming out, take the whole window pane and shit like and stick it over here. And like mirrors from cars and stuff are, you know, over there, and they're making like a collage and stuff, you know, just like lots of little pieces and stuff. Also in this town, they have like an airship, like a big boat thing, and apparently it's powered by a huge gas bladder, which is currently deflated. So it's kind of like a Zeppelin, because Zeppelin seemed to be a fucking recurring theme that Chris could not escape. And that scuba diving and diving out of perfectly good aircraft. And then the people themselves are all dressed in kind of like the Dungeons and Dragons equivalent thinking of what medieval life was like, but in reality, no. So, but they're all kind of dressed like that, although their clothing definitely looks like patched and stuff. Like making clothing is turning out to be more difficult than they thought it would be, type thing. So there's a lot of people in like hides and shit because that's easy. But when you guys first come out of the barber shop, there's heavy guards. Like they've got ballistas and shit pointed at the barber shop, like through the window. Like if you guys do something they don't like, they will fucking pierce you with spear-sized volleys of shit. They even have a slapper ballista, which like has a big board that is bent and it slaps forward, and it launches like 10 of them. It's a shit accuracy weapon, unless it's at point blank range, with which this one pretty much is. And plus, they've got probably about 20 guards on this place.
Hi.
Hi! Friends of Alex Kinley, I see. We recognize you, and your this person is with you, or should we kill him?
He's with me.
All right. Well, fortunately, you're thinking Doc didn't give in to his temptation. Welcome to Kinleyville, says one of the guards. Please step out of there in case somebody else appears so that we don't have to accidentally kill you.
Okay.
Okay.
Not all of these weapons are super accurate. In fact, they even have a couple of catapults that they keep like lit stuff on that will pretty much go chunk right into the fucking barbershop. I mean, it looks, and then there's, if you try to run out of the barbershop, there's like caltrops and spikes and shit like that. So they show you like a safe meandering path to get out and stuff. Are you here to fix the portal or kill the Shoggoth?
Shoggoth's still alive?
Yeah, we haven't been able to use the airship in quite some time. Yeah. Plus, we have a new problem that we can show you. We don't expect you to solve it, but we thought maybe you'd like to know about it because it is baffling.
Okay.
Come with us. We've got all the pieces and stuff. We're just not sure what to do with it.
Okay.
They take you to a building where there's like two guards just kind of hanging out. They look more attentive and whatnot. The guy with you has got half red and half blue hair. It appears to be natural. And it's half on this side and half on the other side. Because when you're in the character generation screen, you can do some stupid shit apparently, and it sticks with you. Inside, he shows you a large broken, it looks like a big disc made out of stone, very carved and stuff like that. It looks like it's broken in pieces, like kind of shattered or something. And he says, now we were just kind of hanging out, and this floated in and it fell out of the sky. It had a birdman's corpse on it. We believe that we're not sure what's up with this. It's got a lot of carvings. It looks very intricate, and it had like a lot of tools and old weapons and stuff on it as well. Do you guys have any idea of what could have happened?
Birdman? Is that just...
That's right. It's a human body with a bird head. That's different. Is that
normal?
Well, for the birdmen, yes. When we first showed up, they gave us a map of our territory and showed us theirs as a way of saying, stay the fuck out of our territory. And we're at peace with them. So long as we stay out.
How large is the disc?
It looks as though it's about 2 meters diameter.
Okay, so quite big.
Quite big and thick as well, probably arm's length thick.
Oh, damn.
Solid stone. It was apparently floating around the sky. It was seen by several people. It didn't appear to be going anywhere fast. It's just kind of lazily floated and fell, and unfortunately it killed somebody as he was in the outhouse. It plunged into him, and well, the parts we could get out of the toilet we buried. The rest we just kind of put some dirt on the toilet and said a little prayer.
That's crazy shit.
Everybody stops and looks at you. The guy with red and blue hair just slowly shakes his head. Yes. It's a shitty way to die, he says, but well, compost is a grounding thing.
I'll have a look at the markings and stuff.
Give me an anthropology roll.
Oh, wonderful. This is going to go well.
I will do the same, if that is okay.
Yes, of course. They want you guys to examine things.
I'm going to pop a charge on my glasses and see if it's magical.
All right. Hmm. You don't think it was actually magical, which is
Huh.
confusing. And there's not even any residual magic left in this. It's
Especially
kind of
since
a
it was floating.
yeah. There should be something left.
Does it look like there might have been a mechanism connected to this?
No carvings. That's
So
about it. It's a
I'm gonna
carving.
ask the dude again. So when you said floating, you
Uh,
mean not just flying through the air via momentum, but actually just floating?
like a cloud.
Uh,
Yeah.
how strong are birdmen?
They seem to be about like humans, except they're obviously strong enough to fly. I mean, with the wings and stuff.
And how heavy is this? Can I like gauge an idea?
Solid stone, fucking thousand. No, maybe half a ton or a ton. You're not really
Yeah,
sure.
okay. Yeah, there's no way that bird can carry this. Okay.
No, no, we would be rather impressed. That's a bird we would not question.
Hmm. Can we examine the bird?
Well, we buried him, but we could dig him up if you think it would help. He was already dead. As you can see, there's a bunch of symbols on this disc, but we don't know what the symbolism is, or symbology, or symbols.
Could it be some kind of language?
Could be, but we're not really familiar with it.
Can I give a linguistics roll, Logan?
Can.
Can I do that?
You can. Everybody peers at the giant stone disc. Since he brought it up verbally, of course you can try it.
Yep.
But you can fail it as well. Your fire axe will make you happy, you think, stroking it. And the guy with red and blue hair just kind of edges away just slightly as you're stroking your axe. He thinks you may be psychotic. He doesn't realize you're thinking about all the fires you can put out with. It is indeed, it is the Birdman language, Chris. Well, parts of it. There's also a lot of pictures and shit that you don't understand, like with birds laying down and shit. But
Yes.
you can go ahead and take a check in linguistics and give me your Birdman language roll, please.
Do you have any? You don't have any skill cards, do you?
Nothing that would help this though.
You could always replenish.
Yeah, I'm going to
Go
play the replenish and limited retrieve it right away.
Right.
Okay, I'll play it now then. Wait, do you have one or?
I have a
Well,
limited retrieve, so
Okay, I'll play
trade
the
it to
replenish
me, and then I will toss out the limited retrieve.
then. Trade.
Symbolism.
Can you move us over to the main
Oh,
map?
sorry. Yes, I can. Please hold. You are there.
Okay. And then redraw.
This session's had the most fumble cards of any of the sessions so far.
Oh wow, damn.
Mhm.
That's supposed to be what outdoors person.
Ah, that's a nice
Oh, I
card.
have +10 assistant. If you want me to play that.
Yes, please play that.
Yep, playing it now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No.
Nice. All right. Seems to be words, and you stand behind every one of them.
Did the Birdman have anything on him of interest or value?
Yeah, a lot of they show you the stuff. They've got it. They weren't sure what to do with it. It looks like old weapons. Something like some sticks that are kind of frayed on the ends a little bit. Seem to be made out of willow. Also, some clothing, little bits of seed, little bags of seeds, stuff like that.
Is any of it magic?
Now,
Hmm. Sticks with little frayed ends.
made of willow. I'll take anthropology rolls to know what the fuck is up with that.
I mean, I can try and help, but I'll try my own one. See if I can have a look as well.
The sticks appear to be about as long as a
come on.
pencil.
It's not my day today.
They're obviously used to clean the rectum. The rectum.
Damn near killed him.
Mhm.
Does any of it look like it's well loved? Like it's something that they've had for a while? Like the weaponry?
Yes, all of it.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, Doc may have a thought here.
So wait, okay, so all the weaponry looks well loved.
Mm-hmm.
And
old.
And old.
Mm-hmm. As was, they believe, the Birdman, but they're not an expert on that. They think it was a very old Birdman. They looked at the body, liver spots, shit like that. They can't fucking make heads or tails of the head because it looks like a bird to them.
Do they know how he died?
Well, the guy that they had examine him believes that it was possibly old age. So they are very confused on this, and they implore you for your insights because since you're friends of the all-wise, all-knowing Alex Kinley, therefore you guys may know stuff as well.
Could it be some sort of funeral thing?
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Like they were sending him off on his last flight type thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So, yeah, they think this is a very good idea, but it seems sending people out, where did they get the flying rock thing? And what kind of irresponsible assholes would send out people on flying rocks that then later crash to Earth?
Birdman?
He says, all right.
So on the disc, is there any like symbols that might look like
many
death or
now that you're looking for that, a lot of death symbols. That instead of the laying down Birdman, it could be a dead Birdman. Now that you're looking at it in that light.
So maybe that's just how they, like how some cultures, they put people on canoes and they light it in fire and then they send it down the river. Same thing.
We haven't tried that yet.
Thinking.
They like it. Thank you very much, Alex Kinley's friends.
Just there's no hole in the middle of the disc, right? It's just solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it heavy?
Super heavy.
Yeah, it's like half a ton.
Yeah, it crushed a outhouse and basically halfway stuck a guy through the toilet. We got his arms and legs.
Are Birdmen, if you know, are they capable of using magic?
We're not sure on that. Maybe air magic.
Maybe they cast some kind of spell which propelled it through the air, and then when the spell ended,
Our wizards told us that there should be a little bit of residual magic left even now, but there isn't. I mean, this just happened a couple of days ago. And
Oh,
that'd take a lot of magic to push something this heavy. He kicks the side of it.
hmm.
Fuck, he says. He limps for a while.
What if they have their own like highways in the air or something?
He looks
Like,
alarmed. We're worried that if one of these had fallen in the city, it could have hurt or killed a lot of people.
mm-hmm.
So that's our main worry, is how to keep them from coming into the city.
They fly. If they want to come in, they're going to come in.
Well, we've got the wires up against any beast and stuff, especially like the prawl. So they'll get sliced into pieces if they try to come through the wires. But something that heavy, we have no defense for. It could be our final countdown.
No, I really think this is like a funeral type thing. This is like something.
Why don't we just go ask the bird people?
I was thinking that too.
Well, it's up to you. They are pretty far away. They live in the mountains and don't like visitors.
Have you spoken to them before, Doc?
No.
Hmm.
Be careful. They are subtle and quick to anger, and kind of a pain in the ass.
Hmm.
They have many strange beliefs, and
So Logan, this zone, you described it as being mostly, mostly medieval with a touch of 1950s sprinkled in every now and then.
in this town, yes.
Yeah. Oh, but the zone. Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
What's the zone like? Is it
What's what?
always like that? The zone. Is it always medieval or is it more?
This has always been like a weird magical zone.
So why is it called MMO? Well, okay, I get that everyone's dressed as D&D style characters, but why is it an MMO specifically?
Because it was at one point a game that these guys had entered through the
Right.
Cyberland.
Oh. So this place is linked to Cyberpunk Land?
It was.
Correct, says the guy.
Oh, you
Like-
know of that. Okay.
Well,
These guys live there.
I not me personally. I'm the kid of somebody else who did, and they told us the stories and stuff. I'm 4, he says.
Wait, so you are stuck here or you choose to stay here?
My parents came here as refugees because it was bad in what you call the cyberpunk land. We called they called the city San Angeles.
Right.
But it was very bad there. A lot of pollution, poverty, war, gangs, street samurai, all of these kind of things. It was just horrible, they told us. And so they were playing a game, and then they discovered that they were really here. But then, apparently, the game company, he thinks hard as these were his parents talking, and he did his best to ignore them. The game company then sold many of the, it went out of business, that's it. And then they sold gaming capsules to a different company, and the other company began to do experiments on the people. And so the people would disappear from here and die. And so then we were like, oh no, they said, what would we do? And then Alex Kinley came and he said, I know how to break this curse. And so he took us through the whirlpool. And then when they went through the whirlpool, they would lose their special abilities from this game thing that they were doing that I never saw. And then, but then they'd broken the connection. And then, so this is why We believe Alex Kinley is the greatest thing ever, and we celebrate every year Alex Giving Day. It is when we give thanks.
So let me get this straight. He sent people into the whirlpool to quote unquote disconnect them from the curse.
Up to Burlington.
Up
If you go
to-
through the whirlpool, you end up at a town called Burlington. It is a strange place where it is always Friday.
I'm gonna whisper to Doc and say, Doc, isn't the Shoggoth in the whirlpool?
They know it's there.
Wouldn't it just kill them?
He says.
I was fighting a dragon the last time, so it's kind of injured right now.
Oh, are you
Oh.
talking about the Shoggoth? I'm standing right here, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
The
yeah.
Shoggoth is new. He just showed up recently. Before then, that's why we're waiting for Alex to send some mighty warriors here to kill it. Because before we
Right.
could go freely back and forth. And that is where we would loot many things. Coleman lanterns. He says.
Right. I think I'm understanding.
And also Swanson dinners. Oh.
All right.
Yes.
So
Before the Shoggoth came, we were planning on making a great bridge, and then we would get their cars and take them down here, and that would provide much steel for our forges.
right. Or you can just move there permanently.
It's a very small place. We have thousands of people.
Yeah, I suppose. All right. Well, Doc, what's the plan then?
Plus, there's a Shoggoth in the way. We can't move now.
Yeah.
But we do need a way to open and close the gate. So if you know how to do that, that would be great. Because when the dinosaur riding people came through, that was bad.
Yeah.
They had something called guns on the dinosaurs too.
When's the last time you saw one of those dinosaurs?
I saw one probably about a month and a half ago.
And were they being rode by these giant, ape-like creatures by any chance?
Some others were being rode by lizard-like creatures, a few by strange-looking men.
So you need the Shoggoth to be killed so you guys can deal with the gate, because I can't deal with the gate. I don't know how to do that.
Can you kill a Shoggoth? He looks really impressed, like, holy fuck.
I have an idea.
I'm not going down there.
Just so you know, a dragon fought against it, and it was a stalemate. The dragon was big enough that we could probably get 100 people on its back.